Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
Over 250,000 people visited the open coffin of Pope Francis to say a final goodbye at the Vatican's St. Peter's Basilica. For the 3 days, crowds entered the Vatican Basilica, coming through Via della Conciliation to pay homage to the late Pope Francis, the leader of the world's over 1.4 billion Catholics. A steady of people ended on Friday, April 25th, which is Liberation Day in Italy, and converges towards the heart of St. Peter's Basilica, where the pontiff's body was exposed for the third and final day to the veneration of the world. Pope Francis' tomb is made of Ligurian, Italian marble, from the native area of his grandparents, with the inscription, Franciscus, and a reproduction of his pectoral cross, according to details released by the Vatican. The burial location is the niche of the side aisle between the Pauline Chapel, Chapel of Our Lady of Health of the Roman People, and the Sforza Chapel in St. Mary Major Basilica. It is also located in proximity of the altar dedicated to St. Francis. Meanwhile, thousands of journalists are part of the media machine that will cover the approach to the pontiff's funeral is already in motion. Pope Francis, a pilgrim of hope, a guide and a companion on the journey towards the great goal to which we are called heaven, died on April 21st of the holy year 2025 at 7:35 in the morning, while the light of Easter illuminated the second day of the octave, Easter Monday. The beloved pastor of the Church, Francis, passed from this world to the Father. The entire Christian community, especially the poor, praised God for the gift of his service rendered with courage and fidelity to the gospel and to the mystical bride of Christ. Francis was the 266th pope. His memory remains in the heart of the Church and of all humanity. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, elected pope on March 13, 2013, and was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina on December 17, 1936, to Italian immigrants. Pope Francis was hospitalized on February 14, 2025, for 38 days at the Agostino Gemelli Polyclinic due to bilateral pneumonia. After returning to the Vatican, he spent the last weeks of his life at Casa Santa Marta, dedicating himself to his Petrine ministry, even though he had not yet fully recovered. On Easter Sunday, April 20, 2025, he appeared for the last time from the loggia of St. Peter's Basilica to impart the solemn blessing.
Please subscribe to our channel.
Pope Francis' coffin has been officially closed and sealed at the Vatican with the rite of closing. The ceremony took place after the 3 days of visitation, which saw over 250,000 visit the open coffin of Pope Francis. The rite of closure and sealing took place in St. Peter's Basilica. At the altar of confession, the rite of closing was presided over by Cardinal Camerlengo Farrell. Vatican News reported that some of the pontiff's relatives were present. During the night, the priests of the chapter of St. Peter will keep a presence of prayer and vigil overnight until the funeral on Saturday, April 26th at 10 a.m. Rome time. The rite of closing the coffin of the Roman pontiff took place on April 25th at 8 p.m. at the altar of the confession in St. Peter's Basilica, as announced. During the rite, presided over by the Cardinal Camerlengo, Kevin Joseph Farrell, the master of liturgical celebrations, Monsignor Diego Ravelli read the deed, Rogito, which was placed in the coffin at the end of the celebration. The Pater Noster, Our Father, prayer was sung by the choir along with the Canticle of Zechariah. Following the prayer, Archbishop Diego Giovanni Ravelli, the Vatican's lead master of ceremonies for papal liturgies, covered Pope Francis' face in a white silk cloth. The document, or Rogito, containing a brief summary in Latin of the pontificate of Jorge Mario Bergoglio has been published, inserted into a tube, and placed in the coffin during the closing rite. The interior coffin of zinc was initially closed and sealed. Pope Francis' coat of arms, a cross and a plaque with his papal name, his age, 88 years, 4 months and 4 days, and the time of his pontificate, 12 years, 1 month and 8 days, was inscribed on the exterior of the zinc coffin. Next, the outer wooden coffin, which had a cross and the coat of arms of Francis, was closed. The rite ended in the singing of psalms and antiphons, notably the Marian antiphon for the Easter season, called the Regina Caeli, Queen of Heaven. In addition to those indicated in the notification from the Office of Liturgical Celebrations, some family members of the deceased pope also participated in the rite. The celebration, which took place according to the prescriptions of the Ordo Exequiarum Romani Pontificis, concluded at 9 p.m. During the night, the chapter of St. Peter will ensure a presence of prayer and vigil for the body of the pontiff, until the preparations for Holy Mass tomorrow morning.
Please subscribe to our channel.
The funeral Mass of Pope Francis will be held on Saturday, April 26, 2025, at 10 a.m., the first day of the Novemdiales, or 9 days of mourning and masses for the repose of Pope Francis' soul, in front of St. Peter's Basilica. According to the Holy See Press Off, the funeral liturgy will be presided over by Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, Dean of the College of Cardinals. At the end of the Eucharistic celebration, the coffin will then be taken to St. Peter's Basilica and from there to the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore for burial. Vatican News released that several heads of state and government have announced their participation, including the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni. The presence of Presidents Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, Donald Trump of the United States, Lula da Silva of Brazil, Emmanuel Macron of France, Javier Milei of Argentina, Frank-Walter Steinmeier of Germany, Andrzej Duda of Poland, Ili Balajian of Romania, Michael Higgins of Ireland, Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa of Portugal, Thomas Suliak of Hungary is also expected. Then the royals of Belgium, Philip and Mathilde, and of Spain, Felipe and Letizia, the Prince of Monaco Albert II, Prince William of the United Kingdom, the German Chancellor Scholz. Many more are expected. About 149 cardinals have gathered in Rome, hold their fourth General Congregation on Friday morning. The director of the Holy See Press Office, Matteo Bruni, spoke on Friday, April 25th, about the Fourth General Congregation of Cardinals, held in the Vatican's new Synod Hall. He said 149 cardinals were present for the meeting of the body that governs the Church during the interregnum vacant period following the death of the Pope. The congregation began with a moment of prayer at 9:10 a.m. and lasted until 12:20 p.m., and there were 33 interventions from the cardinals on the Church and the world. The Master of Papal Liturgical Celebrations, Archbishop Diego Ravelli, addressed the cardinals to explain the funeral rite for Pope Francis, noting that it will be the funeral of a shepherd, not of a sovereign.
Watch our program every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to Catholic News World's channel. God bless.